So the new update that was brought to Notion last week regarding the better databases was better for the most part, and I want to point those things out, but I also want to point out the problems that have occurred since I've gotten the better databases update. So first and foremost, as can be seen here, the entire page itself was pretty well set up regarding having mentions to different pages and whatnot, but now I have all of these different databases that I have to hide the titles of, and I appreciate to the largest extent what it's trying to do and that it allows me to hide it in general. I mean, that's awesome. But a knock that I have on it is that now I have to go through and hide everything. And for a page like this, which really is set up with a bunch of linked databases, this is extremely monotonous, and I'm just kind of being picky right now, but that was my first knock with having the better databases. But after cleaning this stuff up, as you can see, it is a nicer way to interact with this page. I have a bunch of different linked databases, or I guess better databases now, that are really nice and good to interact with. However, I will say, as can be noticed with this bug that's constantly happening, if I press these three dots, I get sent to the very bottom of the screen, and this is something that I am not okay with, Notion. You can't expect us to just deal with a bug like this forever. I mean, look at this. It took me 4 times to click this before the filtering ended up just being what it was. And it's actually really cool that you can do different things like locking views now. I love that. I'm a big fan of the way that you can do this. However, when you lock the view and then unlock it, or do something like have a filter showcase, in order for these filters to disappear, you have to add a new view. So if I were to, example, take this filter here and interact with it, I can untick and retick this for it to hide. But if I filtered this up, once again, I pressed the 3 dots and it sent me all the way down. So I have to do this 5 times before I can actually interact with it. This is getting annoying. Good God, man. I can't even show the example I was trying to show you. But essentially, if I press these 3 dots and then filter it to have I don't know, I'm just gonna add another filter, right? There was a bug that was happening where essentially this filtering would just showcase here and only disappear if I made a new view. And I can't really show you it because every time I click this guy, I just get sent to the bottom of the screen. So that's my biggest gripe. But I will say that it's really nice that you can just change the source of views and you can have multiple different things. I could switch between if I wanted to now. If I go into something like this, I could actually just add a view here and then change the source for this one to projects, right? So this is still my day's tasks and whatnot. But this guy, if I wanted it to be, could be today's projects. And I could probably get rid of this little thing over here. I could just press this, rename it to my day's projects, and then just copy this view layout over here. So I'll just really quickly just switch it to a list. And then obviously a nice thing about this that a lot of people aren't aware of is that show database title is toggleable here. So I can toggle on and off of this if I wanted to. So since now that I'd have this different change here, I could toggle this view to have the show database title back on so that I could interact with this by clicking in if I wanted, but I could filter this to whatever I wanted, current projects. I really have options here, and I do like that. I do like the fact that I have more options here, and I could be this is my current projects, where it's filtered so that the status is in progress, right? So I could just interact with today's tasks and projects, and then easily here I can go between the two, and that's awesome. I really like something like this where you can interact with multiple different databases inside of each other rather than having linked databases that were limited. And I could show who's on the project. Is it me? I could have it be really easy to interact with. And if it saves a lot of space and it's just a little quick look of what I'm really working on, I'm down with that. But when we have bugs like this in an application where you get sent to the bottom of the screen, I'm just not a fan of it. So I'm glad that it clears itself up every once in a while. But sometimes it's just hard to deal with an application like Notion where it's you're so close, yet so far with what you can do. So now even if I wanted to, I could take something like this where I could go here and then copy the link. I can go to tasks by linking this to a mention page, tasks and events / projects. And then I could do an at projects, right? And then now this section It's just much more streamlined by hiding these. And if I wanted to, I could take this, and for now, like I usually have at the bottom of most pages, like not using currently. So if I could like take something like this and just do a little toggle list, old items or archive, just for like the page purposes, and then pop it down here. So now this is cleared up a little bit in comparison to what it was before. If you like this video, make sure to check out this one to see how you can improve your Notion even more.